Hi, I'm Dr. Madhu Chopra, back again with a often seen but a very painful subject for the individual who's going through it. I'm going to talk about relationships breakdown. And almost all of you must have gone through it some phase or the other. Some have recovered, some have not, some have been broken beyond recovery. There are few questions that all of you have in your mind. How do you know that a relationship is not working? There are some early signs which, if you are watching out for, or if it is affecting your psyche or your mindset, I'm not speaking just for women or a man in a relationship. It happens to father, son, mother, child, brother, sisters. There's a relationship breakdown among friends. It's a very common factor. But how do you know early stages how that it is breaking down or it's not what you wanted? The first sign you will see is that there's hardly any communication, monosyllable answers. Um, you don't start a conversation. You think that, kya bolu usse? That's one. There's nothing common that you can talk about except problem. ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ, किसको deal करो, उसको deal करो. Then your relationship is no longer based on love, romance, but it is becoming now a functional relationship. That is the first pehchan. The second pehchan is when he's stuck his face in the newspaper or a book or watching a sports match and you are banging pots and pans in the kitchen, or you're doing your own thing separate without having a common goal, without having a common agenda, and for long hours. It's as if either of you are trying to avoid the company, but you can't help it. You're bound inside that relationship. When you feel that there's nothing common left and you want to not engage with this person, you'd rather read your book, you'd rather have me time, you'd rather do what you love doing best, and you don't want to share it with him or her, then you know that the cracks are showing. As this stage goes ahead, there's a breakdown in relationship, intimacy. Suddenly you find that your sexual activity, which was probably quite often and enjoyable, pleasurable, has now become like a task, a chore, a duty. You have to do it because you have to do it. It's a physical requirement. Then you know that the relationship is breaking. When for long days he's not interested, you're not interested. And then what happens is you start looking for comfort. He starts looking for comfort. Start looking for newer friends. Start looking to bring back that excitement. And you just don't know when it turns into infidelity or cheating. This is a relationship between man and woman, between brothers, between father and son. But as soon as the communication breakdown happens, or you're too busy to come back home, or you're too busy, you don't have the time to give half an hour to your parents, sit down and chat, just chat, or even ask them, how are you feeling? Pick up the phone and say, these are signs of relationship breakdown when you don't want to do all that. How do you get over it? Now you've understood that relationship is gone. Do you want to try and save it? Do you want to bring the romance back? Do you want to bring the father, parent, brother back into your life? You have to first figure that out. Do you value that relationship as much that you want them back in your life, or you don't? If you don't, I suggest don't bother. But if you do, even 5%, if you value them, or you think that maybe life would have been better with the same person, a known evil is better than an unknown good. Another proverb. I don't think there's too much weight to that, but it's something that works. If it's your boyfriend or your husband or your partner and you think he's important enough for you and you want him back in your life or her back in your life, then you have to take the soft approach. You have to pussyfoot. You have to look out for the right moment. You have to create an environment that is likable, that gives the indications that you're still interested in her. Some people have huge egos, and that is a big obstacle to reviving or bringing back relationship. Just a little handwritten note saying that I miss you, or I really had a good time when we were together. That itself gives the right signals. Maybe a birthday gift, not of value, but of which has emotional value to the person. Like suppose I love music. If somebody sent me a LP, which is not available, but he went out of the way and found it and sent it to me, but I don't have a gramophone, but I would still love it. And I would still know that he took care. Not just a stem of rose and a box of chocolates. No. That's finding the easy way out. So you're not giving the right signal then. But some people even fall for that, like a little rope, a little finger, because they also want to come back to you. This is the best case scenario. But if you've broken up badly, or you've had a bitter breakup, you've given each other bucket full of expletives and things, it is much better to walk out of that relationship because it's not adding value to you, it's not giving a better quality of life. So such people are not needed to bring in negativity in you. Applies to both. And then how do you get over this emotional trauma? It's good to grieve. It's good to grieve. And it is trauma. It is traumatic. It is huge emotional hurt. So I would say take your time. Grieve over it. Cry bucketfuls. Eat tubs of ice cream. Anything that makes you happy. Go out. Go out with people without losing control. Go and have happy times. Whatever makes you happy, do it. You don't have to hop from one bed to the other. No, I'm sorry about that. That is not the right way to go about it. But I would say do anything else that makes you happy. And that is the first thing. The pheromones that you're going to be releasing will help you get over. The crying out helps the serotonin act on your brain, act on your body, act on your heart, and your emotions. So that will help you overcome the grief. Give yourself time. No harm in that at all. That is the only way to deal with it. Any wound has to fill from below up. You cannot do lipapoti on the top and put a bandage and go flirt around and say, I'm over it. Can't. That hurt still stays, and that will affect your personality, that will affect your future thinking, that will accept your relationship, the next relationship. So much better to take your time to heal. Slow and easy is fine. Stay safe, stay good, stay in a happy, healthy relationship.